and head all the way back. You're in. Totally.
You have. That's why I had to get my hip replaced.
I'm like, Alicia probably could outrun you too.
Whitney, whose side are you on?
You guys are awesome. Okay, so take a couple of good deep breaths, just body relaxed, body excited to be here. In the springtime here, we tend to have a lot of these windy days, like yesterday, that can sometimes kind of throw the body, throw the emotions off a little bit when you're just trying to walk somewhere and it's like every step is a little bit more challenging. So I was thinking of wind, and I was thinking about how, especially when it comes to young trees, you either bend or you break if the wind is stronger than you. Eventually trees can get to the point where maybe like the redwood forest trees, they can be so huge that no amount of wind really can do any damage at all. But until we get to that point, we either bend or we break. So it's this aspect of flexibility where we can't control everything. If we're not that strong yet, we have to be able to be flexible. We have to be able to go with the flow just a little bit. Otherwise, that resisting of what the actual reality is can hurt us. So as we travel through class today, just imagine as we work on some of these deep stretching poses, what I'm doing is trying to increase my flexibility so I can bend just a little bit better on this physical level. And on the deeper levels, just kind of tune in. Is there any other aspects that we need to work on that flexibility so that we can, be able to bend and not just snap? So with that simple idea to lead us on, let's stretch the arms all the way to the back. Inhale, exhale, lean partway to one side. Good shoulder, side rib stretch. Inhale back to long. Exhale, second side. Take a couple of rounds just like that. Flowing with the breath, working on stretching some of these big areas. Next time we're back to long. Start to take the right knee into the chest, hug around it. A couple of nice ankle rolls. Good. Right leg stretches directly up to sky. Grab onto it. Pull that leg in. Time for that hamstring to lengthen. There will be some poses like this where at least one of our limbs is upright. And I'd like to use those moments to imagine a fresh new young tree that got transplanted, and how sometimes we have a different, rope or tether hooked onto it to help it stay steady in its spot as the root system establishes. So just imagine that's what's going on here. If the leg is trying to reach upward, we're just pausing. The arm is like that tether, letting it lengthen up in a safe way. Good. Inhale. Exhale, hook the right heel over the back left, slide the chin in. Some of these really major muscle groups, getting some attention, some focus. One more good inhale. And exhale, free out this leg, stretch it up to the sky one more time, and drop it down. Left knee into chest, hug it in. Some ankle rolls for this side, get some of the tense parts out of the foot. Leg extends up to sky. Hold on, help it lengthen. Remaining present with the body. Especially with how technology is, it kind of takes us out of our body so often. Makes us think about all these big things going on in the world, which isn't necessarily bad, but sometimes we kind of forget the body. So feel that sensation on the back of the leg. One more inhale here. Good exhale. Then hook this heel to the right, slide the shin in. Inhale, close in. Nice relaxed exhale. Take the leg out, drop it down. We'll start setting up like a vampire pose. So already kind of step the feet in close, lift the hips up as you shift the fabric down. Think of the vampire as that tree idea that we were thinking of. It's extending directly up to sky. So once you have the shoulders completely covered, grab the hands, have the feet free of the fabric for this moment. We'll do another version later with the excess fabric. But the feet are free, and then you're pushing the feet into the fabric to raise upside down. And so slide your feet a little bit further back before you push, so it's like as in closer to your hands. Yep. And then see how the fabrics get. Yep, just like that. Good. Okay, so with being upside down, if you want to play with this challenge of kind of bending rather than breaking, see if you can first find balance, the toes coming together rather than being on the fabric. And if you find that balance pretty easily, play with one foot going forward, one foot backward. And in that way, we're kind of bending, swaying with the wind. Switch when you're ready. Feel the shoulders just relaxing. Letting that vampire play be taking place as long as feels good for your body. Maybe you eventually come to stillness. It's like the winds calm down again. Maybe you're ready to come out at some point. I'm not rushing you. It's just listening to your body. And more or less when the group energy is out of it, then we'll move on. But until then, no rush. Just enjoy this. We've got more than half of us out, so sooner or later, we'll all come down to a restorative kind of recovery shape. No rush to come out, but if you're ready, eventually sitting up. Let the head roll left and right, ease some of the tension out of the neck and shoulders. Starting to sit back up. Clasp the hands together behind the back. Hands go to right hip or right waist, and then right ear drops to right shoulder. The head comes back up, hands to left hip or left waist, left ear down to left shoulder. Head back up. Hands on the inside, and then take the right leg in. We're grabbing around foot or ankle area. Let the leg try to reach upward for another hamstring moment. To switch the grip of the left hand so it's on the outside of the foot or leg. And then right hand is free to circle up and reach back. And then spinal twist. Circle forward, release everything back down. Left leg comes in, grab around foot or ankle, stretch the leg up. Reset the right hand to be on outside of foot or leg. Left hand circles up to reach back. Final twist. And returns. Release the leg. Eagle's arms, right elbow goes under. Try to wind the palms if possible. So from the starting point of sitting upright, stacked spine, start by pushing the shoulders down away from ears. And then elbows start to lift up. If that gets your shoulders exactly where you want it stretched, stay here. If you want to move the stretch more to the spot in between your shoulder blades, you'll continue to push the elbows forward as you round the upper back backwards. Straighten spine up if you rounded, release the elbows, and take left underneath. Same thing, start up stacked, shoulders push down, elbows lift up. That's the spot that gets your tight area, stay. Otherwise, elbows continue to push forward, round the upper back backwards. Okay, start to release. We're heading back to a vampire. This time we'll prepare for the splits using the ground. So start off with the fabric over the shoulders again, lay back. And then this time the difference is we're gonna keep the right foot inside the fabric and left foot is out. So from the right foot being wrapped up, yeah, so reset the shoulders, side, extend the leg down, and then keep the right foot in the little excess of fabric. Right foot in. So get excess. There's like a blanket. There's so much extra on the bottom. Yeah. That's a, yeah. Do you see how there's like a whole blanket extra on my right foot? So you'll need to scoot some extra fabric down until you have that extra around your right foot. Good. Okay, perfect. So hands reach up high, left and right. The feet pike up. Press into the fabric again to help rise upside down to start. Okay. So then this right foot that's inside the fabric, hike it down to the space in front of your chest. Keep on lowering it to the point where it can't go any lower. And then step left foot all the way to the floor. Good. Once you get there, sink your weight back like splits. Yeah, a lot. Let's get those away. Yeah, so step your feet in by your glutes. So step your feet in, lift your hips up. Yep, see how you got expressed into the down. So I can do that. The shoulders and the hip all the way together. Spread that. And this foot.
I know it's
If you're the first place, if you don't want to, that's fine. But it is safe, I promise. Like, as soon as, like, because this foot can't go any further, you're good. But if you're comfortable there, that's fine. Let's take one more breath on this half. Nice exhale. And we'll start to switch. You can either roll all the way into switch or just stay in the plank. Step this. Step the one foot in, the other foot out, switching legs. Good work. Same energy, sinking the weight back. Feel that stretch. Patience with the body. Even kindness with our thoughts. Maybe that's the area in which we can be more flexible rather than breaking. Practicing acceptance of where we are in our pose, no matter what that is. Give it 2 or 3 more breaths just to find that good balance. Good. If anybody wants to take a little bit more time with vampire or even just stay in this pose a little longer because you just got here, that's fine. It's a little bit of free time for a moment. So You want to be upside down again, that's fine. Otherwise, at any point that you're ready, you can roll out. Okay, we have more than half of us out, so start the recovery process if you're not there already. Eventually sitting up is the way to let me know that you're good. Okay, so here from sitting, we're gonna come onto our feet for a moment. So hands grip the fabric, briefly lift the legs up and then tilt forward to come out. Right away, we're re-grabbing the fabric at the front, wave it out, and then slide the elbows in. Listen to this front end. From there, walk forward until you can't go any further forward. The elbows are about a 90-degree angle or slightly higher. Good. You can take kind of a lunge if you want, 1 foot slightly forward, 1 foot back, or you can just, come forward as far as you can and then arch your heart forward a bit. Good. If you're stepping the feet, switch the legs. We can all take a little break if you need. Roll the head left and right. And switch the feet, come into it again. Beautiful. And release from that tension in the arms, that stretch. Keep a grip of this front end. And we're doing kind of the opposite of vampire. Vampire, we shifted our fabric all the way down to the front. Now we're only barely sitting at the front. So slide the glutes back in. It's kind of just enough to cover up most of the thighs. Okay, find the back end of the fabric. And then once you've grabbed that, you're taking the back end over your head, and then you're stepping your heels into that back end. It's like a tube that we just kind of inverted. This is a nice, simple forward fold. Just relax your weight. If the knees are slightly bent, that's a way to help the hamstrings from getting too much tension on them. But extending the legs straighter makes it a little bit deeper on the hamstrings. So find that spot that feels good. Maybe a loose hug around your thighs. This is an opportunity where you could, again, roll your head left and right if you'd like. Okay, this next transition can feel kind of funky. And if it's not seeming to work for your body, you can always step one foot to the ground and just readjust this upper half of our body. But the idea is you're going to get your glutes out. So your glutes are hanging down, and it's going to be your elbows and your torso that are still in this part. That's where our upper torso is right now. So if you ever need to just step one foot to the ground to help slide some of the fabric down, that's fine. Otherwise, it's kind of a fun game of kind of keep your elbows in, free your glutes out. Yeah, so no pressure in stepping a foot to the ground to help you. Yeah, it's not an issue at all. Oh. Yeah, Missy.
Oh, our arms are up.
Just kind of wherever it stays. So they can be down, they can be up. For me, I kind of like where it falls on my back if my arms go up. Yeah, it's like my shoulder blades capture it. I'm not sure what happened over there.
Me neither. I think I'll just fall forward.
I'm like, I don't even know how to get you up. The more you can release the weight of your back down, the more it stretches the back. Yeah. That's where we are. We reset back to where we were, just sit on the front end and then, yeah, so maybe pop all the way up for a second. We'll take a little twist, so bend your knees for a moment, and then let your knees fall to the left. The knees can rotate downward as much as feels good for the spine. We start to rotate back up, bend, and rotate to the right. Yeah, so just find the very front end and just sit into that little bit on the thigh again. Take a little tube over your head into the heels. Good, reset the legs back to straight, relax the hips back down. Maybe there's even more relaxing happening in the back muscles. Yep. And just have one heel in, the other heel will go to the floor. Good. So as that foot is on the floor, then slide the fabric off your glutes and down your, kind of to your shoulder blades. Yeah, that's it. And then keep your elbows and stuff in. Yeah, yep. And then just relax your weight back into the fabric. You got it.
What are you looking at?
Don't So if you want a couple more breaths, you just got here, that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to slowly lower our weight all the way down to the ground, but keep the legs in. So your hands free out, grab the fabric, slowly lower glutes to ground. You can always pop a foot to the floor if you need to. Are you okay? Yeah. Okay, good. Try to keep.
I was wondering how she was going to get us out of that.
You can always step a foot to ground if you need to, by the way. So keep the fabric where your upper body was. Keep kind of a hold of where that spot is, and then one of your feet switches to be on that end instead. So we've got each end with a heel. Good. Got it. So let the legs sway left and right. Right, feet back to the middle, hands on the floor by the hips. Lift the hips up like a bridge pose. That tall, high spot, the legs go wide and then squeeze together. You okay right there? It's like those are muscles. Wide and squeeze. Yeah, take it a couple of rounds. for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Lower the hips back down. Keep the left foot in, right leg reaches up to sky, just grab onto it. That's all good. It doesn't really matter.
That's not going back.
It doesn't, at this point, it doesn't really matter. So you're good. Now this right leg 3 times. Just let it trace almost like a rainbow above you. Let it trace as wide right to the right as you can, and then back up. Trace as far left as you can. And back up. Just twice more, that full arch. You've done 3, slide this right foot into any end, maybe just slide it where the other heel is currently. Then left leg up, grab onto it for a breath. Good. When you're ready, 3 times, trace it left and right. You've done 3. Free both feet out. Just rock on the sacrum for a round or 2. As we roll up, grab onto each end of the fabric. Either just pull yourself up or maybe add in a full bow pose. And then arm strings to pull up. Okay.
But it's not showing on.
I love you, too. Love it. Just easy bend forward when you're ready. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Slight bend to the knees, roll all the way up. Okay, so 2 options for an inversion. Option 1, the easy option, is fabric at the hips, come forward, take a hip hang, or even just the down dog shape. Option number 2, the harder one, this one's the flip upside down into it. So you'll take the fabric like a scarf around your neck. These little dangly hoops, you slide your hands into those. Bend forward, grab each side. And then a step or 2 back gets your neck, your palm line. And then it's just trying to rise up, side down inside of it. It usually takes a struggle or 2 to get there if you're trying it. I can also help to spot anybody who needs it.
Easy person with the hip hang.
A hip hang is an easy one.
Don't even stress what I got you.
Yeah, hip hang, you got it. So this one definitely is a massage for the neck. So that's oftentimes the limiting factor. You can easily just come out and in as your neck gives you the opportunity. You can also take the hip hang if you wish immediately after. Yeah. Those neck muscles just release. Think of the neck and shoulder area, no matter where we're at, being as loose as possible. Imagine that maybe not every part of our body is trying to resist the wind, trying to strengthen, brute force it out. Maybe it's just this neck shoulder area. So it's like that would be the part that would snap if you let it. So instead, breathe that release, find that flexibility, bending rather than breaking. If you're up before others, you can switch the fabric to be behind the back. Just lean back as you take some neck and arm stretches. Sometimes I'll clasp my hands together and try to pull the hands away from where the glutes are. Let that help to open things up. We'll all start to make our way to feet on the floor. Fabric behind the shoulders when we're there. Walk your feet back to stand for a moment. Walk up under plumb line. Bend forward. You'll notice the fabric will start to slide kind of past the elbows. So as it's starting to slide, let each of your hands fall in and grab the fabric. Good. So even just bending forward right where we're at can be a shoulder stretch, just depending. You could also start to send some of your weight of the hips forward. You could also walk forward or backward. So know that you can play with it. If it's too much grip strength for you and you want to wind your hands around a second or third time, instead, that's also acceptable. So just play with it for a little while. Any amount of plank, any amount of forward fold. Good. About 3 more breaths, whatever we're doing. For that third breath, so start to walk the feet under the hips, unwind the hands, roll the spine up. Then switch the fabric down in front of you. So grabbing the back end, wave it out. Farthest closer to you. We're keeping it open and free like this as we slide the right entire leg into it. So hop up close to plumb line. It makes it so that this triangle is kind of pointing directly down rather than you stand back, you can see the triangle is kind of pulling against us. So once you have leg in, the arms dive inside, the elbows push open to each side. This lifts up the leg and it helps us bow forward over it. Heart rises up. Leave the left arm as it is inside. The right arm traces up to reach the back wall. Another twist. It gets into the IT band the further you get the right leg to the left. That arm is what helps to push it that direction. And release, torsos forward, grabbing onto this left half. You get the right hand up high, the left hand by the heart, and the standing toes to the left. Start to bend forward. You're welcome to pause halfway down if that's a good stretch. You're welcome maybe to get to the point where left hand drops to the floor. If you still want more, sink more weight to the mirror, even hopping that left foot, that left hand, another foot forward. Hips over the standing foot, slight bend to that left knee, and then like a spring, it pops us up, face forward, bend the right knee, so it's like a pigeon push shape, but the foot swivels in, dive the arms through the center until shoulders are in front of the fabric. Slide, well, first cover up to your glute, and then slide the left toes back. A little moment for a foot stretch. Press forward, so it's like the ball of the foot is flexing as much as it can. And either stay here or go for a quad stretch. Scoop the left foot up. And either stay here or go for full lotus. The left foot comes around in front.
Keep trying, you'll get there.
Okay, dropping left foot to floor. This is a pigeon pose, so if you want it to go deeper, you slide the fabric now down closer to the knee instead of the glute. That allows the hips to lower down just a little bit further. Yeah. Like, hello, hips. Good work. Left foot hops underneath the body. We're taking care not to fall as we slowly come out. Unwind the leg. And then left comes in. Same thing, full leg in. Make sure you hop forward so you're pretty close to plumb line. Dive the arms in, push the elbows open. That lifts the leg up a little bit. So up. This time leave the right arm inside, the left arm circles up to reach back. And you have that option to keep on pushing the right arm into the fabric so it invites the leg to the right. Good, return. Gripping on the right half, the left hand goes up, right hand is at the heart. And the standing toes to the right. Bend at the waist, lean forward. Stay gripping both hands on the fabric. You could drop right hand to the floor, or you could even sink weight to mirror. Hips over the standing leg, slight bend to the knee, and then the spring pops us up. Facing forward, cover to your glute. Bend the leg like the pigeon pose shape. Drive the shoulders forward. And slide the right toes back. Look for that toe stretch. The foot inside, I like to keep it flexed so we're not just collapsing on that ankle. So stay here for the toes or come up to the quad, grabbing right hand to right foot. And optional lotus. Pigeon pose, the left leg slides back. The fabric could slip any amount closer to the knee. And right foot hops under the body. Start to free out the shoulders. Take this leg out carefully. We have time for one more inversion. So straddle back is what I was thinking, but if your body wants or needs something else instead, that's also fine. Also know you can come to the straddle back from the sitting inside version if you would like. So thumbs slide in, push the fabric to the sacrum, one foot back, lean back, tiptoe under the palm line, hands up, knees wide, wrap the feet, etc. So just know I'm not going to give you a hard stop time to come out of this one. At any point that you're ready to come out, you'll give your head a little bit of recovery time, and then you're welcome to head to your Shavasana, whether that's on the floor or inside. But if some of you are hanging for another 5 minutes, that's absolutely fine. If some of you are ready to come out immediately, that's also fine. At this point, it's just up to you. And to deepen inhales. Exhales. Use little movements back to the body. Checking out in ways that feel really good. Sometimes it's nice to take the fetal position, rolling over to a side, coming in, arching back. Other times there's different movements that occur instead. For your preference, but take these things that feel good. Just a little bit longer. Picking up the body. When the body feels balanced, feels like you've returned back, we start to make our way up to a comfortable seated place. With the heart, reconnecting to our intention, feeling how much more open, flexible this body is. Thinking of that tree analogy, like we're deepening our roots all the time. Like with every breath we take, we're working on the roots. But we're also, at this moment, at a stage in our existence where we're learning to bend rather than break as the winds come upon us. So on this physical level, with our body more flexible, and on the deeper levels as well, we recognize we can incorporate flexibility wherever possible. So with this to help lead us on, let's allow ourselves to wrap up the time with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.